Good afternoon and welcome to our very first episode of Movement Creates Motivation, which is the IP Presents podcast. We're going to be podcasting, but we're going to go live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and also on our YouTube channel. So you can create and you can share and you can do whatever you want to do. So what's the podcast all about? We'll get into that in a little bit further. But I'm not on my own. I've got a few guests with me. First, we're going to introduce Jack. So Jack's going to tell us a little bit what he is and what he does.
So hi there, I'm Jack. I'm the tech guy in the office basically, but my actual role is the social media marketer. So I control all the socials and currently the websites that we have.
Okay, over to Em.
Hi guys, my name's Emmett. I'm the apprentice here at IP. So I'm currently doing a level 3 business administration apprentice. I started. When did I start? Start December, didn't I?
Yes, it's 5th of December is your official.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I started in December. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah.
Good, excellent stuff. And we'll find out a little bit more about their journey and how they got to where they are now a little bit later on. So, who are IP? IP set up with all these wacky, amazing products, which links education and movement together. So it's all about learning, but in a fun, exciting way. So that's what we want to promote is learning, active learning and learning through engagement. So my role in IP is I am the director of Awesome because I basically just go down and do awesome things. So yeah, it's pretty good. So that's it.
I can't believe you named yourself that.
I didn't name myself director of Awesome.
Still to this day.
Okay, so we were going to BET in London, which was the education fair, and everybody was saying, "Oh, what's your title? Oh, director of sales and all this and the other." And I was like, "Oh, I just sort of like do awesome stuff." So, and that's why I became the director of Awesome. And Marty put it on the back of my t-shirt, and
it is now peer proclaimed, not self-proclaimed.
Fair enough. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it's on my business cards, and I filled the form in for Liverpool John Moores Uni, which we'll get to a bit later on. And when I got the form back yesterday or the day before that, I had to sign on. It says Helen Webster, and then it says title in business or something like that, and it actually says director of Awesome. So there you go. So now it's official now.
It's official. It's in writing. That's it.
John
It's done.
Moore's papers.
It's done.
Exactly.
It's done now.
Exactly. So when we set up our office, which was in September, we set our office up, and we wanted to be a little bit quirky, a little bit different. So one of the things that we did was we decided that we'd be a vinyl only office.
Yeah.
And so people come in and they choose like a vinyl to play. And we've got loads of vinyls ranging from ABBA to Dean Martin to Frank Sinatra, Julio Iglesias.
We have some different language vinyls as well.
We've got different language vinyls. Yeah. We've got like a bit of foreign language going on there as well. A bit of classical.
Yeah. Where did you get the? Who was it that gave us the vinyls? I've forgotten.
So my Uncle Ron gave us a load, and then we've just basically everybody else just brings them in. And if you're a guest in our office, which we love having guests in our office, and bring a vinyl and we play it. But Jack has had a little choose of today's vinyl.
Yep. So move Hampan Tan.
Oh, we didn't introduce Hampan Tan. We'll introduce him in a minute.
I waved him a little bit at the start, but we'll introduce him in a sec. But this is the vinyl of this week that we've had chosen, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1, which is amazing vinyl. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a great film. It's got amazing songs on it.
What's your favourite song on it?
Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Because not only is it in this amazing film, it's in Chicken Little.
Yes.
Oh, in Chicken Little.
Amazing film.
It's not just
amazing film. Amazing film from my childhood.
I love it.
Not only Guardians of the Galaxy, incredible film today, but Chicken Little.
Oh, excellent.
So that is our vinyl.
I forgot what the songs are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my favourite song is Hooked on a Feeling. I think is my favourite song on that. And that's what very like.
There are some very good songs in it.
Yeah, well, it's a great film as well.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the film, watch it. So we've got another young apprentice called Beth who is amazing, but she's not in today. She's off today. And Emmett, myself, and Beth were having our lunch one day, and she came up with this little game, and she said it was 2 truths and a lie. So everybody says 2 truths and a lie, and the other 2 have to choose what it is. So another little thing that we do over lunchtime is we play 2 truths and a lie. So we're going to play that today. So if anybody's listening in, or you can sort of like play along with us, what you think that the lie is, what you think the lie is. Okay. So the rules are, Jack's going to start and he's going to give us 2 truths, 1 lie. Emmett and I can confer, but we're only allowed to ask 1 question per thing, and then we've got to make our decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So go on, Jack.
Right. So my first story is that I once drove a tank at Sandhurst, which was operated by me as well as a sergeant drill instructor who halfway through the actual driving of the tank decided to start barking orders at me and shout at me if I moved it incorrectly. This was around the time I was in uni, so I was legally allowed to drive around in a small area in a tank. I was under supervision. My second story is that I have owned a total of 25 kittens, and I've owned 15 at one time.
Oh.
Actually, with fun part of that story is it was from one cat as well. It wasn't
One
multiple-
cat?
One
15
cat?
kittens?
Yeah, one cat had 15
It's
kittens.
literally-
In the house at one time there was 15. There's 25 from that one cat. There's 25 in total,
That ain't normal. Sure.
and there was 15 in the house at one time.
Okay.
And my third story is that this is so sad. Once I was left at a swimming bath for 3 hours by my school, and it was only until one of my mates pointed out that little Jack wasn't on the bus that the teachers had to come over in their own car, because the school bus was parked up by this time. They had to come over in their own car and then explain to my parents why I was an hour late. I was sat by the receptionist for about an hour.
Oh.
Just almost.
So we've
crying.
got driven a tank, millions of kittens, and left in the swimming baths.
Yep.
Okay.
25 kittens, 3 hours in the bath, and
Oh,
tank at Sandhurst.
They all sound quite pretty good, you know.
They all could be.
I think they could all be true.
Oh, they all could, exactly.
And it's two truths.
Two truths, one lie. 2 of these are actually.
How many cats? 25, 15.
25 kittens, and they came from one cat as well.
But she didn't have 25 all at once.
She had 25 total, and we had
25
and we had 15 in the house.
I was going to ask one
15
question.
in the
Carl.
house.
I just realised we can ask one question.
We can ask 1 question per thing.
Okay,
So we
right.
drove the tank.
So we need to think of good questions here, otherwise.
Okay, so
No,
we drove
cats,
the
yeah.
tank. He's got the kittens. He was in the baths.
Tank.
How old were you when you were left in the swimming bath?
When I was left at the swim bath from my school, I was in primary school, so I would have been about 9 on my own.
Oh, 9. See, that wouldn't happen now, would it?
But no, but this is the thing I'm saying. How does a teacher? How do you forget a child?
Well, you shouldn't.
See, if that happened now, that teacher would be really, that teacher wouldn't be a teacher.
No. Okay.
Well, and it was, and the cat 50.
So I know, like, cats are 15
I know.
kittens is a lot. I think the cats are like.
And that's just. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised. We're just skimming over the tank bit here.
Well, I think he could have driven a tank, but was it a remote control tank or a real tank?
That's the question.
Right.
Right.
So he could be tricking us there, and it was a remote control
Can
tank.
you read your tank one out again for me? Because you said something. At the
I
end.
drove a tank at Sandhurst, and there was a drill instructor who was also
A drill
helping me drive
instructor.
the tank, and he
Right.
started shouting at me.
See, I believe that one because I know
I
you can
believe so.
definitely do that one.
I believe that.
What do you
I think
it
the
is?
kittens is the lie, because I think 15 kittens from 1 cat is an awful lot. It might have had like 9 kittens or 7, but I think 15 is an awful lot of kittens.
I'm gonna go to kittens as well.
Okay.
I think.
I'm going to stick with kittens. What are you going for?
You already asked a question about kittens, though. I was gonna ask a question. Have you asked a question about kittens?
No.
How old were you when you
When?
had 15 at the time?
When the cat had them,
Yes.
I was young. I was about 7.
Because I know you have a dog now.
I wasn't allowed.
So
a
if
dog
that's
when I
why
was
that's where my thinking was. If it's
Okay.
that,
Go on then. Make a decision.
do you know what? Do you know what? Just because it's not gonna be boring, just stick with your answer. Because
Okay.
if it could be very easy to do that, I'm gonna go with the swimming one.
You think the swimming one?
I think the swimming.
think the
I
cats.
think the swimming was the lie.
Okay. Go on, Jack.
the tank one's the lie.
Oh.
Stop it! No.
I was left at a bath for 3 hours on my own. I generally was left at a bath by 2 teachers. They didn't get in trouble. They generally didn't neglect me. I was really slow getting changed, and I came out, and my mate didn't notice because there was a bunch of us.
Yeah,
And then it
but
wasn't
no, did
until-
you have a head count on it?
Teachers
Yeah.
usually say.
No, they didn't catch
Teachers
that.
usually do a
No.
register.
That was a bit neglectful. They didn't do the
Yeah,
head count, but it was it was a normal swimming bath we attended. We went with PE class constantly. It was actually at Picton swimming baths. I remember at Picton swimming baths as we went there.
Quite a nice place to stay then. Okay, right, go on.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I can't follow this one.
I know. They were good, them, Jack.
They were very good, right? Okay, so number 1, I've been cave climbing.
Oh.
I think that's what it's called. Number 2, I was on trial at Liverpool Penguins and Everton swimming clubs.
Okay.
And number 3, I can play with 5 musical instruments.
Oh, okay. Okay. Say the second one again.
I was on trial at Liverpool Penguins and Everton swimming club.
Oh, yeah.
So
And what was the first one? Was
I've been cave climbing.
Okay.
I think that's what it.
Where would? Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
I have a good question for the last one.
Okay, go on.
For the can we start on the last one? For the last one, what 5 can you play? Because I know you can play drums for sure.
What 5?
Drums,
Okay.
guitar.
What 5 instruments can you play?
Okay, he does drums, guitar, other guitar, ukulele.
Other guitar. Bass. Oh, come
Well,
on.
bass,
Now.
okay.
God, Ellen.
That's it.
Other
Other
guitar.
guitar.
Other guitar.
Little guitar, which is the ukulele. And I reckon you can probably play a keyboard as well. You are very musical, so I would say that's
what would
true.
you class as the 5 you can do yourself?
Drums, guitar, bass guitar, ukulele, and piano.
They are, yeah.
Well, piano, keyboard.
That's my one question for that one.
Okay, I would say that's true. Swimming, penguins swimming, and where?
Everton. It was just called. I think it was just called Everton.
So I know the Penguins exist and they're a really good swimming club. I was part of that when I was little. Cave climbing. Where did you go cave climbing?
Wales, Colomendy. I mean, no, Colomendy isn't Wales. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Colomendy.
Colomendy.
Oh, when you went to Colomendy.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a PGL type place. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna go cave climbing to lie. What are you going, Jack?
I think it might be instrument. I don't think you know how to play piano. And you can definitely probably play the first 4. Especially since when you learn the bass, it sort of has relativity to drums and that. But
Staring you down right now. Come
I
on.
know.
Tell me
he
what the answer
stuttered
is.
on cave climbing as well. Because he said Colomendy.
Hmm.
I don't think they allow a kid to go Colomendy and cave
Well,
climbing.
they do
I think
do
it's
like
too
abs.
dangerous.
So they do abseiling and they
they
do
do
things like that.
abseil.
So then I was a little bit like, yeah, maybe they do.
The
Because it's
only
like that.
time, I abscaled with my school was in 6th form, and I was at least 17. So I was
You were
going
older.
to
Yeah.
16.
Okay, you've got to make your decision.
I'll go with instruments. I think instruments is the lie.
Okay. Musical instrument, and I reckon it's going to be penguins, isn't it? Okay, I'm going with cave climbing. Jack's going with instruments, and the answer is
The lie.
yeah.
Cave climbing.
Hey!
So it is that I was right. So the second one on the trial one, I was definitely on trial with both of them. I went to one session at Liverpool Penguins.
Yeah.
And then I went to a few Everton ones, and then I just stopped swimming.
All right. Okay.
The instruments one. Now I had a pickle with this one, so I can play those instruments.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can't properly. I can't play them all the way. But I can play them more than most people can.
Yeah.
Which is why I class them. So the cave climbing bit. Now my class went cave climbing. I got to the door, had a panic attack, and then went.
I didn't want to.
So
do
I
that.
Is this like Colomendy?
So at Colomendy, when we were in, I think we were in year 4.
Yeah.
When I went to primary school, we were in year 4. We went to Colomendy for 3 days. And one of the things was, I think it was cave climbing. You went into you went into a tunnel, and you had to go through the little gaps.
Yeah. So that I don't know why people do that for fun.
So I don't know why. So I only called it cave climbing because that's the only thing I can think of. But no, I got to the door. The first gap was about
yeah, potholing is in the
yeah,
climb
exactly.
something.
But
Yeah,
I mean, for the visual for the it was about a foot.
Yeah.
Say the first gap was about a foot, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't get I never realized I had claustrophobia until that day.
I don't think it's a claustrophobic because I'm not claustrophobic, but I don't think I'd like that.
No.
I think I'd be feel a bit like.
I think there's too much terror that you'd be.
I got
stuck
and knocked out.
You feel like you
I
can't.
felt really good about it. I got to the door, and then just left me.
Yeah.
I don't get how it happened. I don't understand what happened. I just remember I didn't go and do it because I was sat as a bench.
No,
I'm sat here.
on the bench.
I'm just sat here like that, and like, you can just hear all the kids. There's a scream there, and there's a scream there, and I don't know the end now because the last scream. It's
like a wacky way.
Right.
Oh yeah. By the way, it was good fun at Colin. There were other stuff I didn't. It weren't just that.
And that's cool. That's cool. Okay.
Come on, Helen.
Right. Okay. You ready? I bungee jumped in in Saudi Arabia. Okay. I whitewater rafted the Zambezi River. I won in Monte Carlo casino, and then I put all the winnings on black, and it came up red.
I already think.
I think I already know. I think I already know what it is.
I think you already know.
Can you read the last one out again?
I won in Monte Carlo casino.
Yeah.
And I got all the winnings, and I put them all on black, and it came up red, and I lost it.
So I straight to the bat think that's a lie, because I think if you win in the Monte Carlo, you're running out the door. You're not putting it on black, especially knowing you're definitely not putting it on black. So I think that's a lie. Also, secondly, you've told me about the whitewater rapids before. You've told me. I feel, and I can't. You said it to me before. I can't remember if you said it was a lie or a truth.
Where about? Yeah, my one question for the first bit is, where about in Saudi Arabia? Do you remember where you were when you bungee jumped?
In Riyadh.
Riyadh. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a question you can think of for either of them?
I feel like
got a lifeline.
See the first one you said bungee jumped, and the way I feel like you've told me those stories before. I feel like if you'd really lost everything in Monte Carlo. Hang on, when did you go to Monte Carlo?
I went to Monte Carlo when I was 23, so oh my god, 73, 96, 97.
Okay, I shouldn't ask that question because I just come up with a better question.
Yeah, you've lost it. You've lost your lifeline on that one. You can ask.
You don't have to answer this. I'll ask you, but I was going to ask her how much did you win? Because if she said she won a $5,
I won £330 because I put a £10 chip on.
Okay, so I instantly think that's a lie.
Oh, she's feeling confident on that one.
Because I feel like
I've got my answer already, I think.
Okay, go on then.
I've got my answer.
Go on. What's your answer, Jack?
I think it's Monte Carlo, but you were too quick to answer the Riyadh thing. You wouldn't have that just on the top of your head in Saudi Arabia.
Do you think Monte Carlo's a lie?
I think Monte Carlo.
Okay. What do you think,
I know the whitewater rapids you've definitely done. I feel like you must have done that because I feel like you told me before. The bungee jumping, did you say you done it in Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
Because I know you went to Saudi Arabia, but I don't know if you bungee jumped. I feel like you would have said you bungee jumped.
Okay, make your decision.
Again, not to be boring, because I do think it's. I might. Just because you went Monte Carlo, I'll swing my chips and go in a completely different direction. I don't think you bungee jumped.
Okay, and the answer is I haven't bungee jumped.
Yes, get in there. Yes.
So I went to Monte Carlo and somebody gave me a chip, a £10 chip.
Yes.
And I put it on, and the number come in.
Oh, is it not your chip?
And I got 330 quid. And I was keeping it. It was for me, giving it to me.
Right.
And then all the last numbers had come out black. So I went, oh, let's flash it all on black. I was like 330 quid. And I'm going back like a long time. And we lashed it all on black and it came up red. And I was like, oh, well, never mind. And there was a girl who was like absolutely distraught, mortified because I'd lost all this money. And I was like, well, we haven't really, because I was given the £10. So yeah, we did lose it, but never mind. But we had a boss time while we were there.
Yeah, I know.
So never mind.
Because my only thinking with that was I think you told me that the whitewater raft.
A whitewater raft at the Zambezi River.
But then the bungee jumping one, right? Here's my thing with you, Helen. I know you too well. If you genuinely had bungee jumped, you would have it would be down everyone's throat the minute you.
There'd be a video.
There'd be a video. It would be somewhere.
100% there'd be a video.
Like we'd have known it by now. Like
I'm terrified as well. So.
I thought with how quick you said Riyadh that you just knew, like you had the picture in your head.
I did have the picture, yeah, but no, I haven't.
Fake picture.
Okay,
that was a cool fake picture.
Cool. So that's getting to know, getting to know each other a little bit better, and they were really good thinking skills, yeah. And so we're going to talk about our journeys of how we got to work with IP and what IP is about and all other bits and pieces. Okay. So we're going to start with you, Jack. Okay. So we're going to talk, because IP wants to be known for education and movement and how different people learn in different ways. We're going to sort of talk about a little education journey of how you got to IP in the working world. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to hand it over to you, Jack, and we're going to give you about 7-ish minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So Emmett and I are just going to chip in and as we go along.
Yeah,
okay?
You can just ask me stuff if you. I'm sure these guys already know, but I've been here at IP since about September now. I've been here a fair few months, but before that I was I was job hunting for a while because as we know, COVID and stuff. We won't get into that, but before that I was a uni student. So I studied computer networking specifically at uni. It's what I love to do. So I did computer networking for 3 years. I started with just computing, which is the umbrella of everything. You do a bit of everything at university when you start in computing, and then I went into networking and internet security, like password protection, stuff like that. Before that, sixth form, again, computing and business. With our sixth form, the way it worked was business was the obvious choice for most people because it's used in a lot of workplaces, and then computing, IT was another obvious choice for me. As you know, I love.
So part of networking, Jack. So for people who are like a little bit computer, maybe not as literate as you, because we just say things and you just go, oh yeah, that's blah, 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 isn't it? And you are like very good at explaining in like sort of like very basic language for us.
Yeah.
So networking. So when people sort of talk about computers and things, and they just talk that because you say the word computer, you can do everything on a computer, isn't it? So it's not the programming of it, is it? No. It's like building them and taking them apart.
So basically, networking. If you think of the actual word, it goes just as normal people conversing and how they communicate with each other, and that basically translates exactly to how computers work. So how computers communicate with each other, and then it brings in the internet and other small things to it. So how emails communicate with each other, how internet communicates with each other.
Okay.
And then under that, you've got like sort of internet security. So what I specifically went in uni to do.
Yeah.
So the protection of data and stuff like that.
And when you first went to uni, were you thinking, I knew you went into do computers, but did you have it defined? Did you think, right, okay, I'm going to go down the networking, or I'm going to build websites, or how did you get to decide that you wanted to do networking?
So with my uni, when you start in computing in anything, so even if you start and decide you want to do, say, programming, you still start in first year doing a bit of everything. So we were doing web design, game programming, networking, and also sort of big data stuff as well. So the businessy end of the computing world. So all about analytics, finances in computing, stuff like that. So there's a bunch of maths in that. So what I did was I started and got to know people and sort of talk to them about why they chose their route. So I had a friend who did computer programming. We were doing that in first year. I have a friend who done web design. And what I did was I talked to them and how they did things. And they basically said they came into first year because they actually weren't that sure if they wanted to do that anymore. And I was the same because I originally joined and had game programming in my head.
Is first year like sort of like, is this for you, or was it like you're on the course for that reason?
No. So first year you start in any course. In university, you mostly start doing 3 or 4 years. Right. With computing, if you do a 4th year, it's usually what's called a foundation. So you start and you learn everything. We only did 4 things, but if you do a foundation year, they'll do everything in computing.
So did you do your in sixth form? You did computers then, so did you? So because you had a basic knowledge of them, you were then able to go in at a different level.
Yeah. So with our sixth form, the year I joined, unfortunately, they just stopped doing computer science. And I really wanted to do it because that was the specifics you're talking about, which is what I wanted to do. But our computing in sixth form was quite broad, so it was learning to use like the Microsoft Office programs, so Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Yeah, exactly, IT. So again, there was the business side of it as well. So how a business would use email, tone of voice, things like that sort of thing. So in uni, when I got there, I decided I don't want to do games programming anymore. So I changed my course from what I was doing into computer networks and how they communicate with each other, because that had also better job prospects as well.
Did you have a job in mind when you were sort of like doing your uni thing, and did you think, oh well, I need this to be, you know what I mean, I need this particular like networking so I can go and work here? And
so originally in my mind, I wanted to be sort of like a software developer, so who actually works on, who builds programs with code and stuff like that. So Java, you know, stuff like that, those kind of programs. But eventually, when I started doing it, I was like, this isn't actually what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But because it was first year, we were doing a bit of everything. And
so then you get like a taster.
And then I found computer networking, and I was like, oh wow, this is fun, and it's got loads more job prospects than computer. Computer game programming and stuff like that is great, but job prospects is very specific, whereas business end of IT is very broad. So you can go and explore your options as well.
And digitally moving forward, we're moving into like a proper digitally world now, aren't we? So you know, everybody has IT and stuff like that.
Did you like uni?
I did. I really enjoyed uni. Not just for the aspect of figuring out where I want to be in life, but seeing where other people want to go. Because when you pick your course, at least you work out, a lot of people are like exactly the same as you.
Right. Yeah.
So we were talking about the other day, me and you were talking about software that was designed off based interest, off your internet searches and stuff. That's what you get in uni. When you go on your uni course, a lot of people like exactly the same things you do.
Yeah.
And you make you don't just make friends, you make contacts and stuff like that. Because then they go off and work other places.
So what was your favourite bit of uni?
My favourite part of uni.
Party.
I was going to say freshers, isn't he?
Freshers, no, freshers was great. My favourite part of uni. I think it was learning more about how to actually build computers, because we did a bit of that in games programming when you were talking to us about how the different components. So that as well in sixth form, we did a bit of actual building computers. So we take components out, and that's what I do.
And that's what you like doing, isn't it?
That's what I do. So as a hobby, I love taking computers apart, putting them back together. Mine at home, I built myself. We had a couple in the office. We'll talk about what's been going on in the office later, but we had a few in. And I fixed them up, and now we're gonna repurpose them. So we'll give them back to charities and stuff like that. Hopefully they can get some use out of them.
Boss.
So
So work environment, okay, totally different than uni. Same as uni.
Yeah.
How do you find the working environment?
Working environment, I was surprised, especially when I came to IP, because it's great to work here and it's so relaxing. But you can still get to know people just like in uni. You just have those little conversations with people. You find out what everyone likes and stuff like that. And you work out you work out we're not so different. Sort of thing, especially in our environment, because we talk about everything in here.
Talk about loads of stuff, don't we? Loads of dead exciting topics.
You can work out the type of person. So what
record you pick?
What records?
What kind of vinyl?
Sack them off.
Yeah. What kind of vinyl you pick? Stuff like that.
What you eat for your dinner and all that.
Yeah. So when I came here, I tried to use all the knowledge that I gained from uni sixth form. So all the stuff about cloud storage, stuff like that, how we store data here and everything. Just trying to get us bit more digital.
Yeah, and that's cool for us, because we need that.
Basically, without me, wouldn't have done.
Yeah. And it's about linking things, isn't it? And one of the greatest things I think is like the Google Drive, where everyone can upload stuff and then everyone can share it.
Yeah, that bit of
just having those like little knowledges and things like that. Yeah. And then you're like the sort of journey starting off, aren't you? So you're gonna have a little chat and let us know how you got to here.
Nice. Well, like I said before, I'm doing an apprenticeship. So I'm doing a level 3 business administration apprentice, I think. Apprenticeship. Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Doing it with Trading Plus Merseyside, TPM. So thing is, I left secondary school. I really didn't like secondary school.
Really?
But you know I didn't like secondary.
No, I know you didn't like it.
So I don't know.
What was the part that you didn't like about it?
I just think it was just. I think the school environment just weren't for me.
Yeah.
It was very.
Because you quite like structure, don't you? You quite like structure and you quite like things
well,
like
that. I think the biggest thing, especially when you get to secondary school, and as you get older, and I think depending on your age and where you are, you're treated like the biggest thing I found in school is the way you're treated and like the things you can do, and like there's very limited things in the environment sense, away from the learning sense and the environment sense, and in that you're treated like a child, but you're expected to act like an adult.
Okay.
So you've got to act in all these ways, but they don't give you the freedoms. And I also think the biggest thing was the learning.
Yeah.
I don't think obviously the subjects I pick are like valuable in certain ways, and I've learned a lot from them. But I come out of it now, and I don't know anything about the real world.
Yeah.
You don't know how about money, how to get a job and stuff like that. There's no skills in actually getting a job and living that I learned in school properly. Yeah. Nothing that I took on.
And we've had this conversation as which will come on to like some things that we've been doing, and courses and things that we've been on, which have given us like life skills, but possibly you should be learning them in schools, now.
Yeah.
And so you have got like a little bit of knowledge of the out and how to speak to different people and things like that.
Because I know I've done a first aid course in year 6 in primary school. I'll be honest, I don't remember anything from it, but I remember the basics of it. And if it was stuff like that, I think in secondary school, I think I would have learned more, but I think I would have enjoyed it, because that was the biggest thing as well. As I just don't felt like I was. School just went for me.
Yeah.
It's just not.
So then school finished, didn't it? And you finished,
finished,
and then you had a little gap between.
Because I finished in COVID.
So it was like you've got school, haven't you? And then you've got, as you say, the workplace.
Yes.
And you're not taught these skills of how to behave in the workplace.
No.
But TPM have got an amazing program, haven't they?
Yeah, called traineeship.
Yeah.
So pretty much after I finished secondary school, I said I'm not going back to the school I was at, and I was in limbo for a long time where I should do apprenticeships, or like go to a different sixth form. And I'll be honest, when you said when I got told about apprenticeships, for me apprenticeships is a plumber, electrician, like stuff like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them, but for me, I just don't want to do that. But then, lo and behold, Helen comes up and says you can do a business apprenticeship. I called her bluff.
Well, originally it was like sport, wasn't it? You wanted to do sport.
Well, so I was going to do sport. I was going to do sport coaching. I was going to do sport coaching with someone else. Done some of the interviews, and then we're speaking to Helen about it. Basically said there was more I could do, didn't you, or something like that.
Personally, I thought you had more potential in you to. So yes, you can be a sports coach, but I think you're already a sports coach because of your basketball skills and you've done some work experience and stuff like that. And then sometimes you can see potential in people, and you think, well, as Jack was saying before, with his, your business, you're learning business skills as well in a uni and things like that.
Yeah.
And you've got quite a knowledgeable entrepreneurial head on your shoulders, I would say. And we went and saw Brian, didn't we? We just had a chat.
We had a chat, said hello to him. So Brian is the director of TPM. I had a chat with him, basically gave us the steps of being an apprentice. But before I went on the apprenticeship, I've done this thing called a traineeship. I will 100,000,000% recommend traineeships to anyone. And basically all traineeships are basically just getting people ready for work. It's I don't know, what is it? Is it like 16
12 weeks?
18 weeks, something like that. So I say 16 weeks, probably roughly that. And you get put on placements for about 3 days a week. And it's basically you learn the skills of becoming to get job ready. And it's basically like the 16 weeks is an apprenticeship really for you. Because I think people forget about apprenticeships is that you're not there as a child. You are there to work. You're not just all I learn. You have got to do a job. So I done the 16 weeks, learned very valuable skills about finance and getting a job interviews, and like stuff like that. And then also like accountability on myself. I have to get myself up. I have to get myself to. I start getting the bus.
Start getting the bus. Ooh, let's start getting the bus.
Oh no,
yeah.
But for me, that was a challenge.
But that was a great thing that, because we had the conversation about the independent travel, and it was like, can you get the bus? And you'd already like Googled, like, I'll get this bus and I can get it to this stop. And we're quite lucky because TPM's office is in our same building. Yeah. So when you were coming to work, you only had to like master one bus route and things like that.
Exactly.
And for some people who don't like public transport, it is a bit of a challenge, but you stick your headphones on and you get on the bus and you've achieved, and you've got get yourself up and dressed and stuff like that. When you get to work. Yeah.
Well, for me, that was done the traineeship, and I'd done the traineeship here at IP Presents, and I was brought on as an apprentice.
Yeah.
How kind.
I know.
Thank you.
How kind.
So now I'm doing a business administration apprenticeship. and it's all on the job. So everything I learn on the job. When I meet up with my assessor trainer every month, 6-8 weeks, something like that. And I get tasks that I've got to do. So I've done a task this week introducing training to the business. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say this on record. I will 1,000,000% recommend apprenticeships to people, because I really do think that a lot of people my age will learn better like this. And it's not spoken about enough, I don't think.
No, and I was a bit this. So I was a bit like, apprenticeships and electricians, trades or hairdressers.
Yes, exactly.
Sort of like trades and then the hairdressers and the nursery things and like that. And it was only when I spoke to Brian, he said, "Oh, you can do customer service and you can do business, and you can actually do a degree now as an apprentice. You can be an apprentice, but you can do a degree. And for some people, maybe not going to uni and getting into the student debt and all that sort of stuff, and they want the work balance as well and learning and stuff, then it's the best way for them to go. And I massively just think apprenticeships are unbelievable. And I think if they'd been out when I was younger, which they were, but it was, I think I'd have probably gone down, because for me, education is really important. Education is like, you never stop learning, no matter how old you are.
No matter where you are.
And no matter where you are in life and stuff. I always think you need to carry on. So education is massive for me. For me, a piece of paper telling me I can do it doesn't really, I just don't think a piece of paper qualifies somebody. You can get somebody who's amazingly academic but can't do the job. Somebody who hasn't got the piece of paper who's amazing because they've educated themselves in totally different ways.
It's the whole thing of like, you can do it, you can do a job and you can learn whether you like it or not. Because I know, like, I don't think Beth will mind this. When Beth went to do a traineeship, she started in nursery, didn't she? She started in childcare.
Yeah, so Beth was on the same traineeship program as you, and she had the journey, didn't she? She went off and did childcare and realised it wasn't for her, and she did a bit of hairdressing and realised that wasn't for her. And then she came just a little bit of work experience with us, didn't she?
I think it's really, I think it really is valuable, because it just shows. Because as you say, it's a piece of paper that realistically doesn't mean anything. Whereas if you've got an apprenticeship and you've done an apprenticeship for, let's say, 2 years, if an employer sees that, they know they've done 2 years in a role, and they are reliable.
Yeah,
I think it's really important. But that's my journey. I'm still on the path. I'm only 2 months in.
You're on the rocky road now. That's it.
Should we go to your journey?
The rocky road.
My journey.
Tell us a bit about your journey.
Okay. So I've got we'll be here forever.
Didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Right,
dead old now.
Just because you've been everywhere.
Because I've been everywhere and done loads of stuff. So I went to school and everything like that. I loved school. Absolutely loved it. Loved being with all my mates. Absolutely loved it. Didn't go to uni.
I thought you did.
No, didn't go to uni.
I thought you went to uni for the party. I thought that's what you told me. You went to university.
No, I would have gone.
Oh, right.
I went to lots of my friends went to uni, and I went to lots of freshers weeks, but I wasn't actually in uni myself.
Oh, right.
I've been to like freshers all around the country, but I've never been a student. And then I went to run pubs, and I ran pubs around the country, and then left that. And then I thought, what can I do? And I love maths and numbers, so I went and did accountancy, and I couldn't sit in an office. Hated it. I hated the office environment because I'd been in the pub environment to be in, and so just started working for myself, and then couldn't cope with sitting in the numbers and stuff like that, and just thought, what else can I do? And when I was 18, I trained to be a fitness instructor, and I did go to uni. I went to Loughborough University.
Told you.
I went to Loughborough University in the summer. So when the university was closed, we did a summer, and I did a fitness qualifications there, and loved, I loved the atmosphere of uni and stuff like that. But I thought, I can't be here for 2 years. And I was running pubs, and I was pottering around doing all that.
Because then you got to chime in lectures and stuff like that.
I'd
as well as the fun
I'd have not
part.
done that. I had to sack the lectures. And so I trained to be, and then when I come out and I thought, what am I going to do now? And then I had an opportunity to do some fitness, so I retrained and did. Although you keep your qualifications, you haven't got to be trained, but I just thought I needed to refresh, should we say. So I did a few more little qualifications, and then was lucky enough to get, even though I was self-employed, get a contact with Liverpool City Council running the Active Woman programme. Then I did Active Me, which is about people with disabilities, and giving them access basically to the same opportunities that we have. Absolutely loved it. Found me sort of like never worked with people with disabilities, but for me it's like everyone's the same. We just find our way in life. And then had my own studio, and then Lou, the opportunity for Lou. So Lou's the interactive playground, which IP have got. Went over to Belgium to see it with Des, and thought this is just like amazing. It's an absolute game changer. I loved it, and I was thinking, does anyone else going to love it as much as I do? Probably not. I could play on it for like 24 hours.
Just buy it for myself.
Yeah, and so it was like all okay, and we were offered, you know, do we want to go in and do we want to sell it in the UK? And we were like, yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. When people see it, and I say to people, you know, you can see it and I can tell you about it, but until you've played it, you know, you'll just realize like the benefits of it so much. And so we just set up IP. So IP was Interactive Playground. We set up Interactive Playground first. And because Lou is Lou Interactive Playground, Canada didn't really want us to be called Interactive Playground. So I was like, that's cool. Do we go into a big argument with them? No, let's just change the name of the company. So we just changed it to IP Presents. And then it was IP Presents. And then we were looking at other ways that we can link education and movement. And that was our passion behind everything, was like, how can we, the obesity levels the kids are going up, they're not moving, they're not doing this. How can we engage them to have a better lifestyle and, you know, learn by doing mad different stuff. And that's sort of, so that's my journey into and then, I became the director of Awesome. And then I found all these amazing young people, and we've got Beth as well, who's an amazing young person.
Weird journey, isn't it? Well, weird, three wildly different paths. I can't speak today.
There's lots of
three
wildly
different paths. Do you know what? There's probably more, to be honest.
There is, and everybody, I'm sort of quite spiritual, I would say, and I believe that everybody's paths cross for a reason, and you'll learn from some, and you'll get rid of some, and you'll go on journeys, and you know, so for me, it's about things like that.
You're going to tell us Pan? I don't think you've actually introduced
them. So we haven't. So when we got the office, we've got an amazing picture of an orangutan. So Sandra went out on a night to a charity auction and auctioned for a painting, and it was an orangutan, and I absolutely loved it. So when we moved into the office, we brought and we called it Charlie the Chimp, even though we know a chimp is not an orangutan, it's an ape. But Charlie the Chimp sounded cool. And then Sandra and I went to IKEA to buy the office furniture, and as we were walking around, we saw we saw the orangutan, and I was like, no way. I was like,
cheeky chappy over here.
So I was like, we need that for the office. So we got that for the office. We've got some, so he's pretty cool. And then we were doing a name. We did a competition, and we went to Rudston Primary, and we, you know, and the kids were saying Jeff, and you came up with Jeff.
I think Jeff. You still call it Jeff.
When I'm on my own in the office and I'm talking to Jeff, because I have no one else to talk to, he is Jeff.
Yeah.
But to everyone else, he has another name.
But then we were like, well, what else can we call it? And then we googled what rhymed with orangutan.
And just three syllables, hand, pan, and tan came.
And hand, pan, and tan come up, so it's now hand, pan, tan the orangutan, which I think is amazing. And hand, pan, tan's going to be out and about soon, and we're going to at Christmas did some amazing. Beth created some really funny little TikTok videos around there and stuff, and she's on a mission. She's our TikTok queen, so she's going to be doing some TikTok things. And he's got like sticky feet and sticky arms. And
if you've seen any of our socials, you've definitely already seen Hand Pan Tan. He's everywhere in the office.
Yeah.
So we've got different like plants and stuff in the office. We've even tried to hang them off a door and a Christmas tree at some point. Just throughout our journey with them.
Yeah. So this is our exciting. This is what we do in the office when we should be working. Is we create a Yeah. So talking about our office, we're going to talk and we're going to share one exciting thing that's happened in our office for each of us. But we're going to be like super quick because we are slowly running out of time. Because we did say that the time would just drift away dead fast. So one amazing thing that you've done in the office, Jack, this month.
So this month, I'm currently making 2 more websites for IP Presents, and I love website design. It's cool. It's something new to do in the office. I enjoy doing it. It lets me design, and it's still to do with computers as well. Cause I'm not very good at drawing. I'm not really good at art, but computers are another story. So I love graphic design and web design. So
amazing.
That's what I've done.
Great job. What have you done? Amazing things. You started your apprenticeship. Apart from that,
well, I've done a course to start this month.
You did?
We've done a assertiveness and confidence course from Danny Clark.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, Danny Clark.
Danny
A
Clark.
really, very, very good course. Very eye-opening as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing I didn't learn on that. I think I've took everything away from it as well.
Yeah.
Start using it.
I've done Danny's. I've done the self-awareness and confidence 3 times, and every single time I do it, I take a little golden nugget out of it. He's a quality
I was
trainer.
baffled how I missed a gorilla.
I know. We'll
We'll
put the link up.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll put the link up to the gorilla story, which fits in nicely with our hand pants on the orangutan.
Indeed, Jack.
And for me, the biggest thing I think is having Emmett as an apprenticeship and Jack coming in as a kickstart and Beth coming in as our apprentice as well, and having a team of people, which is lovely to come into work and have a little team. And talking about Beth, when Beth started, she wanted us to have a positive environment in our office, and she created the jar of positivity. So her task was to go and get some quotes, and every week we pull a positive quote out, and we live by that quote. So who's going to pull the quote out and read it? Hampantan.
Assuming a Hampantan.
I don't think he's going to stick, right? Yeah, mate, you can have that one.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's asking you to open it for him.
I'll open it for you. Oh, okay. So the positive quote to live by and our closing quote for our very first podcast, Movement Creates Motivation, is try, try, and try. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you all very, very soon.
Bye.